Baking is one of my favorite things to do, so I decided to share one of my favorite recipes with you. It's for homemade Funfetti cupcakes with my favorite buttercream frosting. Let's face it, sweets can be a nice treat that many people enjoy, so I hope you enjoy the photos and the recipe. I found this recipe in the Better Homes and Gardens cookbook, the 14th edition. I'd recommend this cookbook to anybody, it's one of my favorites. For this recipe, I used the white cake recipe and the butter frosting recipe, and then I decided to get a little creative and add sprinkles on my own to make it a Funfetti cupcake. First thing you want to do is go ahead and preheat your oven at 350 degrees. Next, you want to gather all your ingredients, which include 4 eggs, all-purpose flour, baking powder, baking soda, salt, butter, sugar, vanilla, buttermilk. For the icing, you want some butter, powdered sugar, milk, and vanilla, and I'll elaborate further as I go along when you need those. This recipe calls for 4 egg whites, so go ahead and separate the yolks from the whites and make sure you don't have any eggshells in there. You want to make sure you leave these egg whites out for 30 minutes at room temperature before you include them into the cake batter, so I went ahead and started with the frosting after I did this. Don't forget to wash your hands. The cake batter for this recipe requires 1 1/3 cup of buttermilk. You can buy this at the grocery store, or you can make your own by using 1 tablespoon of vinegar, putting that in 1 measuring cup, and filling the rest of it up with milk. Make sure to let this sit for 5 minutes before you use it. Now that we got all of our ingredients, which seems to take forever, I know, now it's time to start with the fun stuff and start baking. Remember, things can get a little messy when making homemade cake and icing, but just know at the end of this you'll have some really good cupcakes that you can possibly use to trade for doing the dishes and cleaning the kitchen. For the icing, you want to mix 3/4 cup butter with an electric mixer until soft. Then you want to slowly add 2 pounds of powdered sugar, which is about 8 cups. Beat in 1/3 cup milk and 2 tablespoons vanilla until all this is well combined. For the dry ingredients, you want to get a bowl and combine 2 cups all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon baking soda, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. For the wet ingredients, use a large mixing bowl. You want to beat together 1/2 cup softened butter, and then add 1 3/4 cup sugar and 1 teaspoon vanilla. Make sure that's mixed in really good, and then you're ready to add the wet ingredients and the dry ingredients. So you want to add the 4 egg whites slowly to the wet ingredients, and then add the flour mixture, alternating between the flour and the buttermilk until everything is well combined. Then comes the fun part, you get to add the sprinkles. Add the cake batter to a greased cupcake pan lined with cupcake holders, and then you want to put this in the oven at 350 degrees to 10 to 12 minutes. Another trick to make sure these cupcakes are done is by using a toothpick, sticking it in the center of the cupcake, and when you pull it out, if it's clean, they're all done. After the cupcakes are completely cool, go ahead and ice your cupcakes to your liking. For mine, I used an icing kit that I found at a craft store. These are pretty affordable and easy to use, and it comes out looking pretty nice. And then don't forget to add extra sprinkles. After all your hard work, make sure you sit down and enjoy taste testing your homemade Funfetti cupcakes with buttercream frosting. Thanks for viewing this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the recipe.